A telling experience. Hi, I'm Richard Trask, author of A Telling Experience, which literally means a remarkable experience. There's the book cover. There's a train on the cover for two reasons. I love trains, and I take them everywhere they go. The book tells about that right from the start. And the story this book tells is a wild ride. I could have titled it The Twilight Zone, or The Twilight Zone in Real Life. But the title Twilight Zone has already been taken. A telling experience is 22 short stories about the Twilight Zone in real life. The real life in this case is my life. I've spent a fair amount of my life in the Twilight Zone. To put it another way, every story in a telling experience is a tall tale. I showed one of the stories to my own brother, and he said, "I don't believe this, but believe me, it's true." I was there. It's my story, my life, my tall tale, my Twilight Zone, my telling experience. These stories tell you a lot in little space. Things that need to be told. So what are these 22 tall tales in my telling experience? I can tell you every one of them right now in a first glance teasing way. The protagonist, the hero in each case, is myself as a young boy or a teenager or a young man or a middle-ager or whatever. In each case, I'm incredibly fine or incredibly foul, incredibly cool or incredibly fool. Bizarre stuff. Yet, incredibly, it is somehow like everybody else's story. This story is also your story. It will be in some way like what you have gone through. We are all in the same boat, it seems. Are you ready to ride in this boat, on this train, through our shared Twilight Zone? Come with me now. These are the 22 stories of a telling experience. Story 1. The Tickle of Life, Tales Short and Tall. When you realize you are protagonist of your own story, namely your life, you can try to make both your story and your life as venturesome as possible. Story 2. It's a long way to Santa Fe. A boy escapes an abusive parent by finding a home away from home on a train with that parent. Story 3. The Phantom Dogs of Ghost Ranch. A Western sojourn opens the eyes to vast vistas and the imagination to infinite possibilities. Story 4. The Worst of Sins, a tale from the crypt. A boy is emotionally abused by his take on religion and damns himself in his own imagination. Story 5. We don't talk about things like that. Sex is portrayed to the protagonist as the worst thing on earth until it is discovered to be the best. Story 6. One shoe off and one shoe on. A young man gets a job, loses his mind, and finds another job and mind. Story 7. Rebel's Grave. A middle-aged man's dog digs up a lot of roots. Story 8. The road runner. A desert thunderstorm serves as an inspiration for an initiation rite to a latter-day brave. Lyric love. Story 9. Love is found and lost, and found and lost, and found. Story 10. The mind of a terrorist. The protagonist discovers he is his own worst enemy during the course of a ferry ride and a $20 lunch. Story 11. Piranhas at the pond. A million things go bump in the night. Story 12. Night Run. A parched Mexican desert proves curiously refreshing to the imagination, which can't even see where its owner is going in the dark. Story 13. Numb and Numberer. The adventures of Superdog, almost doing her klutzy master. Story 14. The Writing Well, or the Well of Writing. The source of all solace is found deep within. Story 15. Want to be in our video? An evening jog on the beach turns into a romp. Almost. Story 16. What's up, Doc? One's health is largely in one's own hands and feet. Story 17. Valley Boy. A man's favorite haunt inspires him up, up, and away. Story 18. The $75 grapefruit. The unexpected may be just around any corner. Story 19. When friends drop out. The staying power and evanescence of all human relationships are simultaneously met on and off a tennis court. Story 20. The life of really. A swamp provides a fine reptilian, avian, and human habitat. Story 21. Where did the time go? A hernia operation exposes some dark and light secrets of the universe. Above all, the sense of continual consciousness each of us has. Story 22. The Ghost Crab of Trinity Center. A small critter fails to reveal God's purposes. Just from these little teasers, can you see how funny, either funny strange or funny ha-ha, the stuff that happens to me, to you, to all of us is? In a nutshell, a telling experience tells all. Just ask Zoomer, my cat. He knows a lot, and I'll tell you what he knows. It's all about the mystery of life.